All right, guys. So for today's adventure in the Trump Epstein Omega pedophile ring that includes over 1,000 victims, who knows how many perpetrators, there's a little black book that's unredacted that Anonymous put out. I talked about that a day or two ago. Today's episode is actually me leaning in hard against the establishment members of the Democratic Party, who are, I think useless might be too kind, to be honest with you. Not meeting the moment, I think, is accurate. The other day, I saw Nancy Pelosi in an interview, and during that, she's asked about the Epstein files, and she says, and I'm paraphrasing, it's just a distraction. It's just a distraction. Seriously? Like crimes against kids, pedophilia, a pedophilia ring. This thing has been going on for who knows how long, like decades. Like, we don't know how many crimes Trump and Epstein engaged in. We know there's a lot of victims that had come forward. A lot of that stuff met radio silence. They went to every, alphabet agency among the police investigations. We know that there's been a bunch of settlements with Trump and some young kids, boys and girls. I don't know if that's connected to the Epstein stuff or other stuff. Now they're talking about how Trump had a past in the modeling world with young models, and they had a habit of sexual abuse with these girls that are like 14 to 15 years old. Trump had the Miss America pageant or whatever, and there was he admitted that he used to go in and do inspections of these young ladies when they're in various states of dress and undress. And those are all girls under like 15 years old. So we know he's problematic. And again, I'll say it for everybody who keeps missing this fact that I don't care who it is on the list, if there's credible evidence that they did crimes against women, I want them all prosecuted. Did I stutter? I had some character commenting on my video, one of my videos on this, giving me the whataboutism stuff. Like, what about Hillary's emails? And what about Hillary's servers and Epstein put that together? What about Anthony Weiner's laptop? I guess maybe we have like a language barrier or something, because every time I talk about this, I say, I don't care who it is. If you're rich or poor, if you're famous or infamous. I mean, I think Trump makes the list for infamous. Jeffrey Epstein certainly does. And Ghislaine Maxwell certainly does. Alan Dershowitz certainly does. This stuff has to be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. I don't have a loyalty test. I said it just the other day. I have followed Bernie Sanders, his political movement, since a little bit before 2016 when he was running that time. I love the guy's policies, but I don't worship the man. If Bernie Sanders was on the list, I would say we will see what happens in court. And if there is evidence against him and they can prove that to be the case, dude needs to go to jail. I don't care how old he is at this point. I'm principled on this issue. This is not hard. I'm a hard no on people getting away with heinous crimes, especially when it seems like a lot of this stuff is put together by intelligence agencies like our CIA, like Mossad. I forget what the United Kingdom's version of the CIA is, but they did like honeypot operation using young girls to get blackmail on people. I would argue like those people should be prosecuted too, because they set it up. If there's evidence that they set it up, if there's like orders, like, I don't know, do we do like a FOIA request? Like, did the CIA, and did they work with Jeffrey Epstein? Like, I don't know what's going on. But whoever is covering this stuff up, and we're covering this stuff up, we keep getting this drip of information. There's stuff about the bank transfers that, like, in one account are up to like $1 billion worth. There's like 4,700 and something transactions that would all be worthy of prosecution. The DOJ, Pam Bondi, is whining that a bunch of evidence is in the Southern District of New York. Well, guess where Trump lived for a really long time, and other people. Like, it seems like that was like a big part of where a lot of crimes probably happened. So it should be, handled there. That's normal. I don't want any of this stuff covered up. I want it all out. And I want our governments to stop using young women and, doing entrapment and all this other stuff. Like, if they can't do diplomacy like reasonable people, maybe they shouldn't be in government. Maybe the CIA shouldn't exist. Maybe Mossad shouldn't exist. Maybe the UK's intelligence agency shouldn't exist. And we need to do let's cut some waste, fraud, and abuse in those areas, maybe. I don't know. It's not my, it's above my pay grade, so to speak, but it's not above my moral code, my values, my principles. These are crimes. They need to be charged. They need to go to court. They get their due process. Hey, folks, there's that word again, or that whole constitutional protection. Due process. I want even the pedophiles to get due process. Can we be reasonable with the people that are undocumented here that did something that basically equates to jaywalking? Can we give them due process? Is that okay? Is that unreasonable? And I just made a video basically saying, hey, if we have MAGA folks that are distraught, absolutely broken, and their life is falling apart around them, and they're having a whole experience right now, and their lives might be at risk of themselves. I just got done making a video, you'll see it pretty soon, that I think we need to have our lawmakers put together a suicide prevention hotline with targeted resources that are meant to capture people that are coming out of a cult so they can get help. So how am I the bad guy? How am I the weirdo for saying, hey, screw the establishment Democrats that don't understand that this Epstein stuff is not going away and they need to hammer down on it and ask for accountability and justice? Yes, the whole rescission stuff that they're trying to get through to make the Doge cuts permanent. Yes, that's important too. We can walk and chew gum at the same time, folks. We can care about multiple things. We have to. They're hitting us from all sides. But we have to point out that this is the string that is pulling the whole MAGA thing apart. It could pull the Republican Party apart. And I hope it pulls the establishment Democrat parts of the party apart, because they are inadequate. They are why all of those people that I just mentioned, they are why we got where we are. They failed us. They failed middle America,
so good.
Top, bottom, and center, all around. They screwed the whole thing up. They let disaster capitalism run away with it. They let the billionaires take everything. And they're scrapping and selling our country. They're selling the American dreams for parts. And now they're trying to literally enslave people. F all of them who cannot see what is happening right now and make a reasonable argument. And yes, I'm upset because I cannot stand by while our country gets torn apart from these lazy politicians that have been there for too long. They're in the Washington Beltway, and that whatever brain disease they have, that money matters more than anything else. They forgot what their job is. They're the government. It's supposed to be of, by, and for the people. If you can't remember that, get out of politics. If you can't recognize the fact that people have been screaming at you from the left, from the right, from the center, that people have needs that you guys are ignoring, and you wonder why you can't get votes, or the votes are split down the middle, that means everybody's not happy. Everybody. They think you're both garbage. And then Zohran Mamdani takes it in the New York mayoral primary, and he gets more votes than anybody ever has. And you guys go and attack him, you smear him, you can't get behind him. I'm not sure. He's not strong enough against anti-Semitism when that's completely bullshit. It's bullshit. It's a smear. You let AIPAC in your ears and rot your brain. He said, basically, human rights, full democratic rights, no more violence, one state solution, and deprogram these people that have been turned into fascists in Israel. The numbers for support of a genocide against the Palestinians is unacceptable in any real or imagined universe. Netanyahu is the problem. I saw a picture of a bunch of Republicans and a bunch of Democratic leaders in a picture with Netanyahu, a war criminal that has an arrest warrant out for him. You got to be kidding me. We don't let war criminals in our house, and we should be holding all of these, all of the Republicans deserve to be arrested and sent to The Hague. We need our own Nuremberg-style trials, and we need everybody in the Democratic Party that's complicit with the war crimes in Yemen, with the war crimes in Gaza, and for failing to do their damn job in holding these Republicans accountable And, you know, all this, like, ICE should have been abolished already. The progressives, the left, has been right on this issue. And now they're wholesaling, kidnapping people, sending them away, sending them to for-profit prisons that a bunch of the people in power right now have stock in, and they have stock in Palantir. That the technology that's being used to go after these folks, that they're using our data. I mean, wakey, folks. We are speed walking into something far worse than what Nazi Germany ever got to be. And again, America walked so Hitler could run. He got a lot of his ideas from what we had already done. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. And the Democrats in charge are no better than the Republicans. And they take the same money, I swear, the consultants that they listen to. I'm pretty sure they work for Republicans, or at the very least, they work for Republican interests. And we used to have a tradition when the Democrats, the leadership, if they got wiped out in an election, the leadership, that's it. So I don't know why the Democratic leaders like Schumer and Pelosi and Hakeem Jeffries think it's okay for them to stick around. They suck. They suck. They've missed the moment. And even, you know, clowns like Cory Booker, who do a 25-hour speech that does nothing and then goes, well, let's vote to send Israel more money to kill women and children and bomb the city to rubble, as if it's a defense. It's time to stop making excuses. The progressives have been correct on this crap for a long time now, and we keep being treated like naive little children. When if you actually talk to people about what the policies are and how doable they are, there's almost like 80% agreement across the country. And you can look at me like I'm crazy for saying that, but it's true. When you present these policies, what they do, what they cost, as compared to what we have now, like we literally can't afford not to do Medicare for all. But we keep justifying a system that denies health care, costs us a fortune, and we don't get dick for it. All they do is deny our care, and it costs us more than double. And it's such a complicated beast. 32 other countries have some form of universal health care. I harp on health care because it goes back to care. We pay tax dollars. We should get medical coverage. We should get school covered. Look at any developed nation who have higher taxes than us, but get a hell of a lot more for their taxes. What are we getting for our taxes at this point? Besides paying for Israel's universal health care, you know, universal school for pre-K to college. I don't know if they're getting housing benefits and food. We're paying them to fuck with our foreign and domestic policy, and we get denied all the stuff that we should be getting, and we're paying for it. And they're murdering women and children and men, starving people, committing genocide and bombing 6 other countries. Does that sound like an ally to you? Would you rather that money go towards actually helping Americans? I would.